Good evening. You can see we have plenty of light in here. Quite eventful because there's 5 bulbs at each end. I had a neighbour kindly change them from that end to this end, but one wasn't working this end. I rushed round to the shop. I bought 6, and then I knocked at that very kind neighbour's door, and he was watching his hometown, Northampton, play Doncaster, and Doncaster were winning. I used to be a referee, so I do know where he's coming from. There's no way I could see him until tomorrow morning, and I plan to hope to go to church if there is a church mass tomorrow morning at 11. So I thought, Jesus, you can help me, please. And I asked him, I said, please help me get up that ladder, and tried. I managed about 4 to put in the far end, and one of them wasn't working, so I'd obviously not put it in properly. They're the screw type, and I thought, I can't keep getting up and down this ladder. You know, at 74 you have to be careful, don't you? Especially if you're not the right size for climbing ladders. So I thought, I know, I'll go next door to Pauline and Richard, one of them can help me. And I wasn't wrong, because shortly later her husband rang the bell, and he kindly fixed all of them up the ladder. Though he still had to go up the ladder, and this end he made that one put up, changed the bulb there. So we had 6 new bulbs, £29 something for 6 bulbs. Can you believe that? What is the cost of living? So anyway, I have light, and isn't it amazing? It's amazing. I haven't had this much light in here for yonks. So now I'll have the pleasure of reading more prayers of life from Father Michel Quoist, and it is an unusual title. I do remember reading this for Heaven's Road FM a long time ago, but his words are so scriptural and so accurate, and they just touch deeply. I do hope you'll enjoy hearing his poem. It's called All, by Father Michel Quoist. Rest in peace, Father Michel. The Gospel, preached in its utter purity, exalts, frightens, or shocks. It is bound to meet with violent reactions, as it is diametrically opposed to sinful man and to the world. When a man really hears the gospel, his whole life must be reassessed if he is sincere. For the demands of Christ do not countenance half measures. How blessed you are when you suffer insults and persecutions and every kind of calumny for my sake. Accept it with gladness and exultation, for you have a rich reward in heaven. Matthew 5:11-12. You must not think that I have come to bring peace on earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. Matthew 10:34. If the world hates you, it hated me first. as you know well. If you belong to the world would love its own. But because you do not belong to the world, because I have chosen you out of the world, for that reason the world hates you. Remember what I said. A servant is not greater than his master. As they persecuted me, they will persecute you. John 15, verse 18 to 20. I heard a priest, one who lived the gospel, preach the gospel. The humble, the poor were carried away. The prominent, the wealthy were shocked, and I thought that such preaching of the gospel would soon frighten away many of those now filling the church and attract those now shunning it. It occurred to me that it is a bad sign for a follower of Christ to be well thought of by conventional Christians. Rather, it would be better if we were singled out as crazy or radical. It would be better if they pursued us, signed petitions against us, tried to get rid of us. This evening, Lord, I am afraid. I am afraid, for your gospel is terrible. It is easy to hear it preached. It is relatively easy not to be shocked by it. But it is very difficult to live it. I am afraid of deluding myself, Lord. I am afraid of being satisfied with my decent life. I am afraid of my good habits, for I take them for virtues. I am afraid of my little efforts, for I take them for progress. I am afraid of my activities, for they make think I am giving myself. I am afraid of my clever planning. I take it for success. I am afraid of my influence. I imagine that it will transform lives. I am afraid of what I give. It hides what I withhold. I am afraid, Lord, there are people who are poorer than I, not so well educated, housed, heated, fed, cared for, loved, I am afraid, Lord, for I do not do enough for them. I do not do everything for them. I should give everything. I should give everything till there is not a single pain, a single misery, a single sin in the world. I should then give all, Lord, all the time. I should give my life. Lord, it is not true, is it? It is not true for everyone. I am exaggerating. I must be sensible. Son, there is only one commandment for everyone. You shall love with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. Thank you for listening. Those were the wonderful words of Father Michel Quoist. He's French. May he rest in peace. Have a rest of a good evening, and God bless you all. I send you the peace of Christ and joy of Christmas coming.